Hey guys, hope everybody's doing well. Welcome to the Computer Scrapper, aka Deescrapsescraps. So today, as soon as I can get this other phone brought up, I have in front of me an F5 server. These are really, really good servers. The warehouse that I bought out all that e-scrap from, basically he sold computer servers, and he installed them, and he had top grade equipment in his place. But what happened was everything started changing. RAM and CPUs got faster, and this, that, and the other thing. That the equipment just became outdated months after it came out, and he got stuck with just a lot of inventory. This server would have been around 20 grand back when it was first produced, and so he wound up with a lot of just an awful lot of inventory. He hasn't been able to move it, and but he's going to retire, and I've been buying stuff from him for years. I paid a little bit more for it in the great picture of things, but hi Joe. I paid a little bit more for it in the greater scheme of things, and it's kind of part of what I wanted to go through today. I knew when I bought these that there was a lot in them. Now this server has a date of 2014, and this is one of their smaller servers. They have this, and they have a double one. It's just a rack server, it goes on a rack and gets partnered up with a bunch of other things. They've already taken the power supplies out to try to get the fans off. I was a little hesitant about putting this one live because there are the screws to outfit a hardware store in these things, and so it's just a super fiddly unit to work with. Let me grab the screwdriver, that would help. I got robbed last night, and I really literally mean robbed. It was raining, and I had been loading up the truck to go to the scrapyard in the morning, and I always put a cover and I lock everything down. I don't leave it out in broad sight. But the heavens opened, and I went running for the house, and somebody must have been watching me, because they grabbed the 2 bins of copper that I had in the car before I had a chance to go back out and secure it. So, I'm a very nice person. I give a lot of material to local scrappers who aren't as blessed as I do. And guess what? Ain't doing it no more. So, it's the second time this has happened to me. And, I was going to put it away and lock it, but the heavens just opened, and I had to get in the house, and I had to wait till it stopped. So he must have been watching. As soon as I went in the house, because the only thing he took was the copper, so he was watching. So, I'm pissed. What are you gonna do, right? People suck. Copper is getting stolen everywhere. Guys, I gotta run out and get a flathead screwdriver. I thought I had one, but I don't. I'll be back in 1 second. This is an F5 server if you want to peruse the internet and see about those while I run out to get this material. I've taken the bigger ones apart. This is the first of the smaller sized ones that I've taken apart. And yeah, so that was kind of not cool. I've been really focusing on higher profit units right now. I'm kind of going through and I'm pulling the copper. I have quite a nice stockpile, and it's all clean aluminum heats, clean copper #1 heat sinks. Those I save. Yesterday I had somebody come by and pick up all my #2 copper and all my #2 heat sinks because I don't want to take the time to clean it. Not that I'm lazy, I'm not allowed to play with power tools when nobody's home. So, you know, he paid what my yard would have paid me, and that was fine. And he'll take it home and he'll scrap it. This is going to be one of these. Bam! That'll be one of those videos, guys. And that would be why I didn't do this one yesterday. Anyway, hey, how are you? So, yeah, so I'm working through the pile that I had. I'll tell you, this has been one of the rainiest summers I can imagine. Every time I go to do a pickup at this IT place, it's pouring rain. I was supposed to go today, and try for tomorrow, weather permitting, because it's really overcast out right now. So these are F5 servers, and again, you know, when I bought these, he was nice enough to let me take 1 or 2 home, because I said to him, I don't want to get stuck with $12,000 of Deescrap and not get my money out of it. I said, you and I both know that's what we're going to do with them. I'm going to scrap them because they're really not good for anything else right now. I said, if you couldn't sell them, and I couldn't sell them, you know, there's no resale. So I think I'm onto every single Facebook page about home servers and build your own network. And, you know, I follow those groups because a lot of times I'll get something in. That's, you know, a decent server. And, you know, a lot of home gamers can use it. I'm pretty close to New York, so it's not unusual for me to get somebody to come down from New York and grab a used server. They can run, you know, they can run Linux on it, or, you know, just use the parts to keep their system running. It's certainly a lot cheaper. This would have been a $20,000 unit back in the day, and that is no exaggeration. Cisco and F5 and Juniper, which were what this guy vended. Well, you know, they were three of the top server makers, and so he would vend their product. So they were very well made. They are loaded with gold. A lot of the boards I've been getting. I don't know what's in this one because I haven't taken one of these one of this model apart yet. Taken apart its big brother, but not this one. Okay. I'm inside working on the dining room, so I've got I don't have the leverage that I'd like to have because I have this on top of something because I don't want to wreck Mama's table. A lot of times when you can't get the lid off and you think that there's one stuck screw, look around for a sticker, because sometimes there's a security screw under there. And once you hold that, you should be able to open the unit. Here's another one that says warranty void if seal is broken. You get that on hard drives too. There's sometimes just some kind of security screw or something that you can't see it until you take the label off. And it looks like there's going to be the case here. Well, I'll be donged. Ding dong dolly. There it is. Yep. Let's see if that's going to take care of this. Yeah, no, it's going to slide, Joe. It's just a matter of getting the getting all the screws. You know, you miss one and it won't do what it's supposed to do. Yeah, I mean, it certainly looks like a slide. But there was one screw. It was under a white security. You know, do not remove under the thumb of the law kind of thing. And pretty sure that's what's gummying up the works here. I reserve the right to put this aside and go back at it later if it really aggravates me. Okay, this is the front of me. That's their logo. I should save those for Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer Day. F5. They, you know, like I said, I didn't really know anything about them, and they've been a very good scrap. I would say if you get a chance to, you know, if you come across an F5 server, I would certainly encourage you to go ahead and get it. And they seem pretty good for they seem pretty good for scrapping. As I said, I've done the bigger model of this. This is my first time breaking down a small. The big one of this, like this, has more screws than a dang hardware store, I'll tell you. All right, it's gotta go this way. I know it does. All right, you're going to embarrass me on my live. I haven't gone live in days, and now you're going to give me aggravation? There's not a latch. This is just a, it's a handle. This is why I have something under this. I can turn it and flip it and move it all about. Put my left foot in, put my left foot out. Put my left foot in and shake it all about. Wah, wah, wah. The silver color pins might hold it down. I got it. It was crazy. I actually had to flip this upside down to get that free. It's got what it's got. It's got a square in the front so you can pull the whole tray out. And, that is what's gunking up the works here. So if I stand on my head, I can take this server apart. We got it. Kind of a literally a backwards way to go about it, but we got it. That's part of why I show these, you know. Sometimes you just get one that's a little persnickety. Yeah, no, I got it. I got it, Joe. Thanks. Well, not as chunky as its big brother is, I'll tell you. The big brother has 2 of these in it, and those are #1 copper. There's no thermal paste here, so they're the big boy to this. That's twice the size, and I've got one of those on tap for you too. It's just that it's got so many screws on it. It's something I'd like to prepare before I put it live, so I don't bore you to tears. So, so the bigger version of this has 2 nice copper heat sinks in it. You already see there's a lot of gold on these boards. I think what did we say the date was? 2013 maybe. So what he did is he would go in and there you go. He would install these new servers. He'd take out the old ones, he'd wipe them, and he'd try to resell them. And he did very well. I'm focusing on these F9s because I really want to have them ready in case copper goes up again. I'm not in a hurry to sell my copper, but sometimes 2014, thanks, Joe. Joe remembers what I said, but I can't remember what I said. We got up this morning. My mother's family is all from Rhode Island, and her sister had 8 kids, who I'm super close to them, and sadly we did have a loss in the family this week, so we were all together. And my cousin, who lives in Israel, was on his way to New York. Too bad it's late this morning, so he came through Connecticut. We stopped, we had breakfast together, which was really nice. He and I were about the same age, and that was very pleasant. Here's the other screwdriver I was looking for. I hate working. I love working outside. I usually work outside. But it's really not pleasant outside today, so. Sometimes the power screw is, it's just too much and it just strips the whole thing. But a lot of your boards, guys, I don't know if you can see the gold on this board. A lot of these boards that I've been sending to Chris and Zach have actually graded as Gold Edge CRT boards. I'm not going to say who graded what where because that lies between you and them, so to speak. But if I had the time and the space, I would be saving these and send the whole lot out to a gold refiner. Because the boards are that good that have been coming out of these pre-2020 machines. Pre-2020, you're always going to do better, older the colder, So, there's that. Alright, come on, come to Mama Bear. Now that looks, it's an I-Core ARM, but 2013, I can't imagine this would be an I-Core chip, especially in a server. I would expect a Xeon. But if you see that kind of an ARM, be extra careful, do double check. Yeah, and it's a Xeon. There was some transition when they were coming in with the I-Core, which had this bent ARM, in between your Xeons, your Duos, and your Pentium. So sometimes you'll see an I-Core ARM, and it's not an I-Core roll underneath. It's a Xeon or some such other thing. So, and that's the case here. Now, my advice to you, I used to work in the restaurant, we used to say, clean as you go. And I'm a proponent of doing that with your scrapping as well. As I say, not as I do. I want to get this, I'll get the thermal paste off. This, you just push through and you nip the clip, you nip that little C-clamp off, and it'll let go. And you'll get nice #1 copper. See, the key is right here. There's no thermal paste. Matter of fact, the fellow I sold a bunch of this to yesterday, and I showed him. His year I tried to downbowl them and say they were #2. I said, tell him, take one apart. He said, it's #1, don't tell me. And he took it all home with him. He told him to shove it. Good for him. So, don't wait till you have a big mess going and because like yesterday, I wound up selling 2 huge garbage cans full of aluminum heatsink that I had left the fans on and never got around to doing. I sold them to him cheap for, so he can go ahead and clean them. But what happens is you wind up costing yourself money, and time. I'm not sure what kind of RAM this is, but Zach tests every single piece of RAM and every CPU. Well, the ones that are worth selling over. He tests all that, and I don't have a way to do that here. Chris and Zach both pay about the same on RAM. So, but what Zach will do is if he has something that has like 128 gigs or is DDR4 or DDR5, he'll give you a better price for it. Whereas Chris doesn't. It's just their business model. Nothing's wrong. No one's better than anybody else. None of that. So, there's that. I always take the thermal paste off because I just don't want it everywhere because I work inside a lot. So this is just an Intel Xeon E3-1230V2, your basic pinless CPU. If it was an I-Core, you'd have to be extra super careful. You touch this and it'll fail testing. In this case, I can do all I want because it doesn't matter, it's just a Xeon. Button that up again. Sometimes on these bigger servers, sometimes you have to take the bracket off because it's holding it to the plate underneath. Not always, but sometimes. Okay. Let's carry on here. I don't like having to work in the dining room. There's just no room. I'm in the process of having our basement is being You guys know I had the flood a couple of years ago, well, a year and a half ago. So finally getting around to getting the walls pulled out of the basement and the flooring all pulled up and redone. We sprayed it, we treated it, but you know, it's just it's just a constant dank smell down there, even with the humidifier running. So that's all being pulled, and then I'm going to convert that to my office. I don't get a lot done over the summer because I'm too busy goofing off at the beach. Thomas, welcome in. Guys, don't forget to just give the like button a quick double tap. It does help the algorithm, and I've been, you know, I haven't been as consistent as I'd like to be. Working on it, but I guess, you know, I only see my family on Sundays because everybody works, you know. It's about the only day we really see each other at all is Sunday and occasional Fridays. So sometimes they want to go to brunch and that you know, I can't do my live. But I'm working on it, you know. I mean, I like to go on first thing in the morning, but Chad is always on. No offense to Chad. Chad's awesome. I like to watch Chad, number one, and you know, that's really his time. So I'll sometimes pop up a video or some such thing. In this case, this being something different that maybe you guys haven't seen, I do want to make sure I get some videos up of these, because I like to, you know, refer people to, well, I have this kind of server, I have that kind of server, and I'll type that into the search, like dismantle Juniper server, or dismantle F5 server, so people who may have these know what they're getting into, and know if it's worth purchasing or not, you know. Now, those of you who know me know I do not resell hard drives. There's one exception. I have one of my buyers who he is an R2 recycler, and if I haven't been told I have to destroy it, I can sell it to him, but he has to send me a certificate of destruction, and you know, so I will sell to him knowing he's going to destroy it. I don't resell hard drives. Velociraptor. It's a nice hard drive. Take the boards off. I mean, they pay very well, and then you can just bust the platters. They're not that hard. Patrick William has a really good video up on it. I think Shark Scrapper's got one up. There's a lot of how to destroy your hard drives videos out there. All right, plunging along here. This is probably going to go as a high-grade telecom board. I will be showing you some of the other, I left samples aside of all of the different servers and stuff that I get out of the warehouse, because I do want to make sure that I have a nice instructional library going for you. You know, as these become decommissioned, you know, when everything's getting replaced, you may run across a pile of these, and it would be nice to know, you know, these are worth spending a few bucks on because you're going to get more than your value out of it. So for those of you who just came in, this is a 2014 F5 server. There's two different models that I have. This is the thinner of the two. The thicker one is a real fiddly pain in my neck to get apart. And after this video, this one won't be. I'll know how to do it. These are heavy. This is good heavy steel. Price of shred's a real joke, isn't it, guys? Oh my God. You know, what a joke. Now, I do sell these fans because the fellow who came yesterday to buy e-scrap from me, he took a bunch of samples last time to his yard to find out what they would buy and what they would pay. And he came back with some numbers, and they were acceptable to me because I move out tubs of stuff when these guys come down from New York to buy. You know, they'll come by with a truck. We'll fill it up with you know, those Home Depot bins. They'll give me empty ones, and I'll fill their truck up. We just load the truck, and we just swap back and forth like a conveyor belt. I've got it all weighed and But he had gotten that information, and you know, we were able to negotiate a good price for a couple of buckets of those, which is good because my interest is taking them apart and getting the boards. That's my interest, and my ballywick. For a while, I was SELLING boxes of E-scrap, but I don't get as much done in the summer as I'd like to because the weather's really nice and I'd rather be outside. So I have a few, you know, it was sometime. I've got one box up for SALE. I almost said I'll get restricted, I'm sure. And it's really high bearing boards like these. See, this is a size board. I could ship this. It wouldn't break the bank to ship something like this, and I do have several people locally who come to me for their gold refining needs, and I've got 2 or 3 people who just email me when they're ready for a box, and you know, I take some pictures, send it over, they yay it or nay it, and off it goes. But it's just been, because of the amount of stuff I have here, I've just been doing an awful lot more sending the boards out. Now, I'm not going to force these off, because if I do, the chip is going to come along with it. Most buyers really don't care if you leave those on, because they won't devalue the board for this being left, but they're going to devalue it if that chip is in there, and I don't blame them. I would too. They're going to send it out to a refiner anyway, so it's, you know, not going to hurt them any. Yeah, we're going to be difficult here, are we? I don't fight with the boards. The boards usually win. Okay. These should be Broadcom. That has to just be cleaned off, but there's no metal on this. Don't let your yard BS, you guys. That is extruded aluminum. He got into that with his yard yesterday, too. We cleaned it. Everything was clean. I showed him how to magnet test them. I showed everything he needed to know to make sure his heat sinks could be sold as extruded aluminum. Now see, he's new, so they're going to take advantage of him. My yard, I've been dealing with them a long time, and they still screw me. So, you know, scrap yards are not always non-fair as Jeff. Now there's a scrap yard for you. He's reasonable. I love watching his channel. I keep telling people they should subscribe and learn how to treat people. So I got to clean that up a little bit more. A little spick and span will take that off. But that's extruded aluminum. The problem with extruded is you cannot have a bit of, you really can't have any metal on there at all. They run a magnet over it or over your load, and they pick one little thing of metal up. They're going to downgrade it. They have to. You know, you're going to be upset about a 5-gallon tub being, a 30-gallon tub being downgraded. Imagine how they feel when the tractor trailer gets downroaded because low battery. I didn't even say anything. You gotta be so careful, God forbid. Anyway, yeah, there's a lot of gold. This is a really, really good board for gold refining. Really is. Yeah. So, you know, you can always send an email ahead of time and, you know, send these off to a buyer. I tend to do a lot of the same thing at once so that I can pack a box and send it off to one of my board people. There should be gold in here. Just in general, some other components on here if you're into micro scrapping.
Unknown caller.
Unknown caller, you can stay unknown. Bye. You don't want to put your name up there, I ain't talking to you. You got tantalums, you got MLCCs. These look to be the older MLCCs that are supposed to be pretty good for gold refining. Again, I don't gold refine, it's just not my bailiwick. A lot of gold here. These guys, these are gold banded crystal oscillators. Scrooge McDuckson says there's a ton of gold in those and not to let them go by. You can see gold here. So there are a lot of gold bearing components. If I had the room, and I just don't forget guys, I'm planning on retiring in about a year, so I was supposed to retire sooner, but I couldn't turn down this opportunity. I'll tell you about that in a second. I would save them, and I would send the whole load out to a refiner. That's how good this batch of boards has been. Definitely something I would consider doing. For me right now, you know, I'm saving them hoping the price goes back up. I mean, telecom boards were $17.50 not too long ago when the price of gold was up. Now they're back down to $10. But if you say pretty please and let your buyer know they're coming in ahead, Chris is very responsive to at least taking the time to look. And you've got to imagine how busy they are over there. And he still takes the time to look. So does Zach. Zach does too, but my problem is it's more expensive to ship to Zach. That's the only problem. I do send him all of my RAM and stuff because they do test it. You know, different buyers offer different specialties. And, you know, I respect and like them both. They're both good guys, both very honest. If you don't know how to sort your boards, that's the place you should go. By the same name, I just can't say it because it'll restrict me. I send people there all the time who don't know how to sort their boards. He'll do it for you. Whereas if you send to Chris, you've got to have everything sorted already. But they are very good. There's good videos up. I mean, you can learn how to do this. It takes a while, but you can learn how to do this if you really want to. The reason I'm slowing down and going to retire is I'm finding it very hard to get e-scrap of quality. I-core boards are, hi Daryl, how are you? Long time no talk. You know, my whole thing is the quality of the boards is not so great, but on the other hand, I've been getting a lot of DDR4 RAM and a lot of i7 CPUs out of these, you know, cheap, low-profile optoplexes. So that's really where the money is. I-core boards, I think, pay like $2 a pound, and you can take half of that for shipping. Not so much gold refining. So yeah, this is a high-grade telecom board. I could clean that up. I don't have to. You know, and you can see that's a really nice board. So that, my friends, is what is inside an F5 Zulu Heifer. It's an F5 XULA LHF LAX F. As I said, it is the smaller of the two. It's got a date of September 23, 2014. That's why you've got a board that looks like this. That's a gorgeous board. I am going to ask for an upgrade because of the amount of gold in this. This is much more gold than a typical telecom board will offer. As again, I will bundle these all the same board and the same thing. I will email my buyer ahead of time. And if they agree with me, I'll note it on the invoice. And, you know your buyer. Know your seller, too. But you definitely, you know, you work with people long enough, they get to know you, they respect you, they like you, hopefully. I don't know if they like me, I think they respect me. I don't know if they like me, I can be a pain in the ass when I want to be. So that is the board. This case is heavy. It's a good heavy case. Too bad steel is down. And then I'll pull this out. I'll put this in with my peripheral boards where the screen goes. That'll go over there. Yeah, this guy who's going to come from New York usually takes those from me because he'll take time to sit and do all this. I don't have that time. Sometimes these are things I'll put into one of my treasure chests, things like that. So that's your F5 computer, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I will go on again when I get a chance to pull apart one of the other big boys. I'm just really pushing through these F5s. And I'm pushing through them because I want to get these copper heat sinks. If I see copper hit $7 or $8 a pound, it's going. That's what happened to me the other day. I put them in the truck because I was getting my load ready for the scrapyard, and I hadn't locked down the top yet because the heavens opened. And in the short time I was in the house waiting for the rain to stop, some son of a bitch came and stole 2 bins of copper like this out of the back of my cart. So, yeah, I'm not a happy girl. I know who did it, but, you know. The thing is I give a lot of scrap away. So I must attract people with lesser character. I don't know, I'm so upset. But, my own fault. I shouldn't, you know. It would have been locked in. I would have pulled the cover down and locked it, but you know, I didn't feel like standing there getting wet. I really didn't think anybody was going to steal in the rain. I guess it doesn't matter. But it was about 40 of these at £1 each. Do the math, times $7 a pound. No. My only hope and prayer is that they needed it more than I do, because I believe God provides and something else will come along. And he will be punished. I know exactly who it was. And I could really ask my neighbors to let me see their Ring camera footage, but you know, you choose your stress. You know, what am I going to do? Go after somebody who's, you know, you go after somebody who's shitty enough to steal. God knows what else they could do to you, you know? Another reason I want to retire, because it's not the first time I've had people steal stuff from me, and I don't like it. Anyway, don't worry, not going anywhere soon. I still got 24,000 pounds to scrap. Alright, well, so that's this one. I'll see you when I get the next one ready. But I'm going to do a whole bunch of these, and I don't want to sit here and do the same thing over and over and over and over again. Catch you later. Be well. God bless every one of you. And thanks for hanging out a little bit. Talk to you soon. Oh, this will be reposted, by the way. This will be reposted as a video, by the way, so you'll be able to go back and look up about the F5 servers. Bye-bye.